Cowabunga, dudes and dudettes. This is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and welcome to another episode of the Time Capsule of Toys, the totally radical show where I take a look at all the awesome toys of yesteryear. Some you may remember, and some you may not. But for this episode, I'll be taking a look at the vintage Dick Tracy action figure from Playmates. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased on your standard and brightly colored blister card packaging. Turning the box around, we can see some great comic book-like panels from the Dick Tracy comic book. And if you take a closer look at the bottom, we can see a bunch of other figures from this series on the left. And on the right, a profile of Dick Tracy. So if you want to read that profile, go ahead and pause it now. So with the packaging out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is Dick Tracy out of the packaging. And man, do I have a soft spot for this toy. I was a huge fan of Dick Tracy, and I had this guy as a kid. Up until about second grade where he was stolen from me, and up until now I never had him, but as an adult I finally have him in the collection once again, and I am so stoked to check him out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Dick Tracy does come with 3 accessories. Starting off, he comes with his billy club baton, his pistol, and a holster for the pistol. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at the vintage Dick Tracy. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at Dick Tracy. I am so glad that I have this figure in my collection because, you know, this was really one of my all-time favorite toys, and I think around this era is when Playmates just pretty much ruled the world as far as toys went, and I love the Dick Tracy film. Oh, that was just such a great film to me. I absolutely dug it. That whole gangster cop thing was just great, and really bright and colorful and noir, and it was just so awesome. And these toys, the fact that we got these toys was incredible. And for those wondering, no, I didn't actually open them up. I have a second one on card and one open, so I actually do own 2 now. So just letting you guys know in case some people are wondering, you know, oh my god, why'd you rip open a vintage card back? Nah, I didn't. Don't worry, he's still intact. But let's check out the figure. So the head sculpt, again, for the time being of this era, this was actually pretty good, and this was like Mattel's take on making more, I guess, realistic features and whatnot. So you can kind of see that Warren Beatty look in here. It's kind of funny seeing his lips, kind of almost like he has lipstick on. Again, that was Playmates' way of trying to make him look a little more realistic. And I do wish he had came with a trench coat or something like that. I really got to see if there's an aftermarket for like third-party trench coats that fit this era, because I really feel like that's the only thing really missing from this figure is his bright, you know, yellow trench coat, which is signature for Dick Tracy there. And actually recently, I actually just did a drawing of Dick Tracy because as soon as I got this figure, I was like, man, you know what? I haven't drawn Dick Tracy since I was a little kid. I figured I'd do him now in my own updated style. So there you go. And again, if you do like my art, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at ArtLife82. So this figure is just so rad. Again, really glad I have it in my collection. I love the full suit with the vest. You can take this little strap off right here, and you can see a little better what we have here. So he's got his signature red and black striped tie, looks good. Even got the badge, even got some handcuffs hanging right there. The kind of like folded up sleeves, even got the back of the vest strap going on right there. Hairline looks really good. Again, love the yellow hat. His billy club, it looks fantastic. Very nicely sculpted and detailed. Even got little dents and little wood grain and things like that. All look really, really good. You got his little wrist communicator right there, which is great. Love that. That was so ahead of his time. That's way before things like the Apple Watch and whatnot. So very, very cool. So you can put this back on right here like that. Just understand a little peg for old straps like this, you know, a la Ninja Turtles and things like that. So let me get that on. It's a little tricky because the rubber peg is a little soft. Oh my god, that's just not gonna go on now that I'm on camera. It wasn't that difficult for me to put on earlier, but now I'm on camera, so it makes it a little more difficult, of course. So the pistol does holster in there really nice. You can't take that out. And we do have this hand right here on his right hand with a little bit more of a trigger finger. So you could just put that in there and holds it like so. So very, very cool. You can't even get this other hand and get his billy club, put it like that, and boom, now you got him holding both his weapons, which is fantastic. So very cool action figure for the time. Again, based on what, in my opinion, a great film. So let's take a look at the articulation. So head just does rotate just like so at the neck, can turn left and right, no ball joints or anything like that. Arms can go full 360, rotation kind of at the forearm where the sleeve is, kind of on both hands like so. So technically not the wrist, I guess. And then the legs are on those kind of like ball pegs, a la Ninja Turtles again. So they kind of roll around, kick forward, back, out a bit. Does the splits pretty good for the most part. So overall, I think this is an incredible toy, especially if you grew up in this era and just love that Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy movie. And again, what in my opinion was just iconic. I loved it so much. So if you can find him, he is just a gorgeous piece for any toy collection. And I think he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Playmates Toys comparison, here he is standing next to a vintage Toxic Crusaders Toxie and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo figures. And just for fun, here he is standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the vintage Dick Tracy action figure from Playmates. Now overall, again, this toy just has a nostalgia feel for me. I absolutely love it. I was a huge fan of Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy, and that movie was incredible. The fact that we got a really cool toy line from Playmates based on that was just so awesome, and I am incredibly stoked to add this action figure to my collection. So ask yourself, remember that toy? Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.